It seems to me that Wuwa has a little bit of a problem. I'm seeing the exact same 4 stars on banners consistently. And I'm not just saying this to say that this banner for Phrolova is not worth it. It's just more so that if we're going to be giving like the same 4 stars over and over again, like we should at least mix up some of the good 4 stars with the bad. And what am I talking about? Well, today we're going to be going over if you should be summoning for Phrolova on Phrolova's banner. Now, of course, normally people would go, hey, it's a 5 star that we're looking at and we want to summon for that. However, my goal is to give you the bang for your buck and be like, hey, if you are spending money, which I don't think you should, if you are spending money, let's make it worth your while. And it's hard for me to say that's the case with the Phrolova banner. Like, let's be honest, Tauki is a very, very hot character, boobs and all that stuff. But to be honest, she lacks. She lacks a lot. And I'm going to just point out that, yes, she's one of the very few units, I think one of the only units, that actually benefits from building off of defense. However, it's just not worth it, you know? Ultimately, she's just going to do damage based on her defense. She does have a parry, but otherwise, like, she's just very low on the totem pole. And the sad thing is that when it comes to Tauki, she's the highest one of the 3 4 stars on Pridewind. Now, I'm going to say right now that Pridewind is not the basis of end all be all, but it is something to see, right? Like, you see all 3 of these units and they're all in the niche character tier, which I heavily agree with. I think that all 3 of these characters are not going to be doing anything for your account. But it does make me laugh that Tauki, out of all 3 of them, is probably the best of the 4 stars. And that's not a normal thing for me to say. Again, Tauki is alright, but I just think that Tauki is just kind of whatever. Now, granted, if you like Tauki, more power to you. You're allowed to like any character that you like. However, if you're looking at the best bang for your buck, then I would highly recommend not summoning on these banners. And I'm going to go more in depth, obviously, but Tauki is one of the reasons why. Again, very just defensive based, having the parry and all that. It's just, you would think that a parry would be good, but in the, in the space of Wuwa, right, you don't need a holding parry, right? Most attacks are parryable from what we see, or dodgeable really, really well. And maybe the parry helps out in that regard with, instead of it being all or somewhat dodge, somewhat parry, you could actually parry the dodgeable but not parryable. You get what I'm trying to say. Like, the attacks that are not parryable by normal characters, you could probably parry with Tauki, but I don't view that as big as a I guess a positive for her, because again, like 9 times out of 10, are you going to sit there and activate her parry, or are you going to dodge? We're more instinctive to dodge. And then again, when we see that yellow circle to actually full on parry, you know, we actually know what we're doing in regards to that. Like, I don't know. Just to me, I find Tauki very useless outside of fan service. And that's just it. And so she's going to get a thumbs down from me. Then, of course, speaking of more fan service, we got Lumi. And Lumi is kind of tough for me because I think that she has the ability to be fun. There was the event a while ago where you got to be her and run around, and all the attacks got buffed in the sense, and you were like collecting levels and stuff like that. So I think that she has that going for her. But the problem is that even with that, like, that was a special event, and honestly, I don't find her all that great. Like, and I'm not the only one. Again, Bridewood has her right down here, which sucks because, I also see Jinshi up here, or down here, and that makes me sad because I love Jinshi. But at any rate, oh, wrong person. Lumi. Lumi is kind of just whatever to me. She's a electro damage dealer, I guess, or hybrid. I believe that she has the ability to boost up something. Give me a second. Here's one part that's cool. Outro skill, the incoming resonator has their resonance skill damage amplified by 38% for 10 seconds or until they are switched out, which can be good. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not good, but I will say that, I don't think it's really benefiting as much as we think. And honestly, I've read through this kit so many times, I don't really see anything else that that could really do anything to help out, the team. So it makes sense for people to kind of view this character as a very niche character. So it sucks because again, I wouldn't say she's a fan service character, but obviously she got that ass. And a lot of people love the Scottish accent. I love the Scottish accent. I think it's really I will tell you this, man. They know how to develop characters when it comes to making you feel good. I'm just saying. But outside of that, Lumi is just she's deserving of this bottom tier. Very deserving. So again, it's gonna be another thumbs down for Lumi. I just don't feel like the 4 stars worth it. And then of course we have Yan Wu, which Yan Wu kind of bounces back and forth. Like he goes from good to bad to good to bad to good to bad. And that's where Pridewind kind of like I guess ruffles my jimmies on that one because I've seen Yan Wu go from here to meta, back down to meta, back down to meta. It's like, bro, make a decision on this, right? But yeah, Yan Wu I don't think is that terrible. I think honestly, out of the 3, I know that Tao Ki is ranked higher, but I think that Yan Wu is actually better, for multiple uses, right? Well, I can't say multiple uses. The Thunderfield that he gets from his Resonance skill, and we'll read that really quick with Thunderfield. The on-field character gains the effects below when the Thunderfield, a coordinated attack from Resonance skill Thunder Wedge, is triggered when attacks hit a target, dealing electro damage. This can be triggered once every 1.2 seconds, and the effect lasts 1.5 seconds. So I think that that's decent. And then, of course, we got his Liberation. Awaken the power of Thunder and provide Forte Circuit Lightning Infused status for all nearby characters for 10 seconds. So he gives you Lightning Infusion, which can be good, especially when you're fighting a boss that, I guess, not weak to Lightning, but will actually take damage. Or Electro, sorry, not Lightning, Electro. But yeah, otherwise, I think that he's just again, another mid character. He's very niche still, regardless. He's not really doing too much for characters outside of just that Thunder Wedge and his Resonance Liberation. But again, like that's what bothers me. I will say this. This is what bothers me about Pridewind is that they're valuing, at least in my opinion, the the parryable thing with Tauki more than the actual light or thunder infusion or electro infusion, whatever you want to call it, the electro infusion of Yan Wu. So I don't know. To me, I feel like all 3 characters are just bad. Like, and that's what sucks about this lineup for 4 stars is that they're just all bad. Before we go any further, I just want to let you guys know about my sponsor, GamerSupps. GamerSupps is the gluten-free, keto-friendly energy drink that is great for you. Right now, I'm drinking me some raw meat by, obviously, Meat Canyon and GamerSupps, which is basically like drinking a watermelon Jolly Rancher. So, cheers to GamerSupps, and make sure you use code TYSTER for 10% off this weekend because we've got the Christmas in July sale. That's right. I am super excited because every year the Christmas in July sale is always so much fun. If you buy 1 tub, you get the Valkyrie Waifu Cup. You buy 2 tubs, you get a small merch item of your choice from the previous tier. If you buy 3 tubs, you get a t-shirt of your choice or previous tier. You get 4 tubs, you can actually get a large merch item of choice or the previous tier. And 5 tubs get you the Night Metal Tumbler or the previous year as well. And the Night Metal Tumbler is an exclusive that you can only get from buying 5 tubs of GamerSupps. And honestly, using code TYSTER for that 10% off is going to be great for you. So again, make sure you use code TYSTER for 10% off at checkout, and let's go ahead and get back into the video. Phrolova, I think, is going to be pretty dang good. The problem is that the banner itself is just trash. So talking about Phrolova, she's going to be basically an off-field DPS type of character or main DPS, depending on how you want to go about it. But the main thing about her is that she's going to be using Hecate to do havoc damage. She's a reticifier. So what makes this really, really cool is that when she goes into her Resonance Liberation, right, which I'm hoping that they show it here, when she goes into this, she basically hovers into the air and Hecate kind of takes over, is going to be doing damage. However, when you activate her Resonance Liberation and you switch to another character, say, like a Jinchi or Camellia or, Zani, like she is going to have Hecate still doing damage and they become invulnerable. At least that's from my understanding of the kit, which is why I think that she's going to be better as an off-field DPS comparatively to a main DPS. Now, again, you could still main DPS her, but Hecate is going to be taking that damage for you because all of your stats go into Hecate. So I think it's still really, really cool. I think that Hecate is going to be badass. The fact that we get to control Hecate as Phrolova makes this so much better. So to me, I think that Phrolova is definitely worth it on her end. The problem is that the banner, I'm gonna be 100% Kuro. The banner sucks, right? And don't even get me like, don't even get me started on the other 5-star. Okay, I don't like Roshia. I think that Roshia is just mid, right? And my opinion is just that she's super mid. I don't understand why people like her as much. And you know, she's still considered meta by, you know, Pridewind, but I think that she's just not that great. I know that certain people make her their favorite character. Looking at you, Rexlent, weirdo. But I think that Phrolova is going to be the 5-star out of the 2 that you would summon for. And even then, the 4 stars are just so bad that it makes it so difficult for me to say that you should summon for Phrolova. If you're looking for the overall bang for your buck, I really want to say summon for Phrolova, but no, I can't. In good faith, I can't say summon for Phrolova because while Phrolova is probably like honestly, Phrolova is going to be hybrid, and she's probably going to be right here. She's probably going to be near the top, right? It's just you have Tauki, Lumi, and Yanwu, and I don't think it's worth it, right? Because it's just bad. Now, this goes into another thing when it comes to Wuthering Waves, where I think that we need more 4 stars to make it a little bit better, and we need to buff up those older 4 stars, like make something to make them better. So I really hope that Wuwa takes that into consideration so that we could see like the Taukis, the Lumis, the Yanwus, the Yuhus, the Aaltos, see them bump up to where they could actually be very viable, right? But I don't see that happening anytime soon, but we'll see how that goes. Now, of course, I want to know y'all's opinion. Do you think that Phrolova is still a summon or like a must summon? Do you think that she's a must summon with the 4 stars in hand? I'm going to be honest with you. She seems like she's going to be so good, but the 4 stars just really tank the banner worth, in my opinion. So it's a no from me. But let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be summoning for Phrolova. We will be doing a summoning video later on this week. So if you guys want to see how my Phrolova summons go, make sure to check out the channel and subscribe. Because, again, I'm really trying to reach 5,000 by the end of the year. And we're halfway through. So I got 1,990 summons. 1,990 subs to go. So would appreciate all the love and support if you guys can, and comment down below. Anyways, y'all, that's going to be it. Love you guys to death. And as always, we will catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.